That's good. So you eventually did ask for help, or did they kind of figure it out?
No, they know me. They offer. There was a lot of offering help. They knew the situation.
So in those moments where you'd call your family, because we are very close with your family.
Very
yes.
close.
What type of advice did they give you?
Don't move. Stay still. It'll be fine. You'll be okay.
Right. So this is where we get into your complications. But when the news hit you, I don't know exactly how the doctor delivered it to you, but I'd imagine it hit you pretty hard. So how did you cope with the sudden stress?
I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. The stress of
knowing that, like, it's a very high risk that you could have lost me, but you had to stay positive, or else,
I had to stay positive, and there were many trips to the hospital because things were happening to my body that were not normal, so we had to keep going. Literally, it was almost like every week and a half to go see if there was still a heartbeat. So that was very, very stressful for anybody. Yeah, that was hard. But your dad, he was there for me, and we did that because we had to.
Mm-hmm. So since these complications, because this is kind of a big question, but with these complications, I know you definitely wanted more than one. You've expressed that to me before.
Yeah.
But you realized that it would be very, very dangerous to have more than one to make you feel happy. But you also had me successfully.
I did, yeah.
So was it...
You take the place of 2.3. In a good way.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
It's a good way. It's a good thing.
But, so like, was it hard for you to choose between, like, what you had wanted and, like, kind of, wished for or predicted?
No, it wasn't what I wanted in the beginning, but after we had you, we realized, you coming in at 2 pounds, 12 ounces was quite a miracle in itself. Mm-hmm. So once we found out that, yes, I would be able to get pregnant again, but no, there were no guarantees that, I would carry a child to term ever. It wasn't worth the gamble to us anymore. We knew, what, we're going to stick with our miracle child and not push any buttons. So, we're very happy. It wasn't a hard decision, actually, honestly. It was quite easy.
Whew, that's good. So past the actual birth, the way you described kind of taking me home was that they just kind of gave you a baby and said, all right, bye. So how was learning to do that?
Oh my goodness. That's the scariest part. No one tells you that. You're expecting, we obviously had to keep you in the hospital until you were really healthy, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess. I was thinking you'd be a little heavier. They let us take you home at 4 pounds 1 ounce, which is still pretty tiny. But they're like, she's fine. She just has to gain weight. So we just had to keep feeding you, and that was fine. But it was scary because, the car ride home was ridiculous. I've never seen your dad drive so slow. And your dad, he likes to drive fast.
Yes.
So, no, it had some adjustments, and, I did. Well, do you remember calling the doctor once because you had a high fever? You were very, very warm. And I realized I had you swaddled too tight, and you had clothes and layers, and I'm like, oh my God, that's me. So as soon as I started unbundling you, guess what? Your temperature went down. So that was silly me. It's just those things you don't know, and then you kind of figure out as you go.
Mm-hmm. So some kind of simple tips like Dad learning to swaddle a baby. Did he look that up, or did you show him, or did you ask family? How did you come across the basic information?
No, the hospital. The nurses showed us. You were in there enough, and you were in there for maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. I forget.
Possibly.
But you were there so long that we could see them, and they gave us little tutorials on how to wrap you. So you were always our little burrito. Pretty much wrap you like a burrito.
Yeah. So how did they give you the first like vaccines, or were they something you had to like schedule, like examinations and?
Oh yeah, we can't leave the hospital until they have the appointment for vaccinations. But for you, we had to have surgery scheduled for you before we left the hospital also, because you had 2 little hernias that needed work on. So
gotta fix those.
Gotta fix that. Yeah, they don't let you leave the hospital without those appointments set.
So in the early stages, like I hear the phrase "the terrible twos" a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you kind of deal with, like, I don't know, I guess raising me from the ground up? So like, were there big hurdles?
The only real, I guess, well, we laugh because I always said that you were advanced. Your terrible twos came early. So I'm like, there's Lauren. But I forgot the question. There was nothing terrible about you, and you were a good child. You still are.
Oh, good.
You still are. Don't worry, you still are.
Woo, good.
No. Everyone only compliments you.
Oh, that's good. So, what about like finding a pediatrician?
Well, I think we had recommendations from the hospital because obviously before that we didn't need one. We just had to make sure that they had the names and they had the dates and they had to see all that, and that was it. And then I think your first checkup was like a week later, and then the shots began.
Woo!
Ooh, the shots.
Just a spoiler. Scary. I still don't like shots.
This is true.
So, what about school? Like, finding a school to pick. I mean, I guess for our location now in Houston, since I'm pretty sure you moved straight back after you had me and you could.
We had you in July, and I think we moved back, actually into this house, we moved here in March of the following year, yeah.
So how was, like, it probably wasn't hard picking a school here, but...
Well, the schools, we never really thought about the schools so much because we live in an area where your dad grew up. So Meyerland is where your dad grew up, and that's where he went to school. So that was the plan. And same thing with preschool. Your dad's mom, that you never met, she started a pre-K at Lovett Elementary. And when you were old enough to go there, they welcomed you with open arms. Sternenberg? Of course she can come here.
Ooh, good.
And that led you into Lovett.
So has much changed as I've gotten older and like more annoying and harder to look after, but
no, you're still a really good kid. No, you're good. It was funny because I remember when you were little and you barely say little words like moo cow, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, when is she gonna stop talking?
Oops.
But now you've gone back to being quiet again, so I'm going to take our conversations when I can get them.
So,
I love them.
I'd say that was a great interview.
Are we done?
No, not yet. I have one more question.
Okay.
But, so would there be any advice you'd give to, like, young moms? Because you weren't a young mom. You lived life before you had me.
Oh, definitely. That's exactly what I would say. I would say, you know what? Enjoy your life. Have fun, because you're gonna have to slow down. Once a baby comes, things change. You're not able to just jump on an airplane to travel the world. You have to make plans, or have a live-in grandma and grandpa, I guess. But no, we didn't have that. Just enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, have fun, and the world is not going anyplace. Plenty of time for traveling.
Awesome advice from an awesome mom.
Thank you.
So yeah, that was our interview, and thank you, Mom, for joining me.
You're welcome. Hope you get a good grade.
Me too.